Hello there, Stranger Things friends. Well, I did it. I watched the latest drop of Stranger Things episodes 5, 6, and 7 of season 5, and I can't stop thinking about these 5 things. Now, there might be more than 5, but we'll just start with 5. And if you don't know, Stranger Things is a series on Netflix that stars Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, David Harbour, Winona Ryder, many other great actors, and it follows a group of friends in Hawkins who have to fight against a powerful, otherworldly menace that threatens not only their lives and hometown, but also possibly the entire world. So let's get into it. These are the 5 things after watching episodes 5, 6, and 7 of season 5 that I can't stop thinking about. Number 1, Henry's house. So here's something that hit me in the moment where Henry brings Holly back to the house, and the spoilers, by the way. So you okay with that? Okay, all right. And all the kids are sitting around, and Henry's lying to them, saying Max is the terrible one, and he's the good one, that he saved them, and that Max says that they're kidnapped or whatever. So the kids don't believe it because whatever, they only know what they're being told, and Henry's more convincing than anyone else. And it reminded me of how you can look, if you were looking at war in general, in human history, just sort of like a otherworldly, godlike figure looking down at both sides. It reminded me how much both sides think they're on the right side of history, basically. That's what I'm thinking about. Because, you know, they're good kids. They seem like they want to do right. They're just being lied to, and they don't know it. But the Stranger Things crew on the other side, they also think they're on the right side of history. They actually are, but you know what I mean? Like, there's the difference between in how many wars where people think they're on the right side of history, somebody has to be on the wrong side, and that just really hit me. And then there's also the moment where Holly is in bed, and the kids, when they're being told this about Max, these lies, they're saying, well, we'll go up there and we'll talk to her when she wakes up. So she wakes up, and they're up there, and it's really interesting to watch what's happening here, because I feel like you're seeing a representation between status quo of society and a truth teller. Holly being the truth teller, and the other kids being the part of society, the vast majority of society, that just wants things to continue. Don't be different, okay? Just go along. We're all okay. Nobody wants to die. We're in this nice house. Don't fuck this up for us, right? So it reminded me of a truth teller. You could say conspiracy theorist to a degree, but it's there. The idea that someone actually sees what's happening, right? They're the ones who reported to the government, listen, these UAP alien craft hovered above the warship in the Baltic Sea or whatever, or off the coast of San Diego. And the rest of the world's like, yeah, we got it, but we're more focused on Christmas shopping right now, so don't throw the economy into a loop with this alien talk, all right? Even if it's happening. That's Holly. She's trying to say, hey, listen, this guy's terrible. We've all been kidnapped, blah, blah, blah. And they don't want to hear it, right? And one more interesting thing on this is that dipshit Derek is in that crowd. He knows that Henry's lying. He knows that Holly's telling the truth, but he doesn't have the balls to step forward. Another representation of that character who knows that he should be speaking up and defending her, but sees the ostracization that's going on and doesn't want to be excommunicated from the group, so he keeps quiet about it because he's being threatened by Henry. Henry's like, if you cross me, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to your family or whoever. So he's like, I don't want any part of this. Holly's crazy, even though he knows that Holly's telling the truth. So that's the first thing that I can't stop thinking about. Okay, the second thing that I can't stop thinking about is Will's arc. There's a really nice moment where he comes out to his friends at the end, and it kind of takes you could tell he's been agitated with a lot of the Demogorgon vision and stuff, but I sort of interpreted that as he's going to die in the last episode, but apparently he was just dealing with this. So I kind of wrote down that Will's coming out moment after this, his arc feels resolved, internally. Rather than putting him in danger, the story positions him as emotionally stabilized, making him less likely to be, one of the sacrificial characters going forward. I think that's right. I think you can't kill Will off now. So I changed my opinion from last time. I said Hopper and Will, I think we're going to die. Just thinking about who's going to get it, who's going to be the sad character, who's going to be the character to sadly go away. And it's not Will anymore. I think it would be even more tragic for Will to go after what just happened in episode 7. It could still be Hopper. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to have to think about this, but that's the second thing I'm thinking about. I don't know if you agree with that or not, or who you think, but let me hear it. So the third thing I can't stop thinking about is Hopper and Elle's skepticism or distrust of Kali, the one that she was in that sort of weird wizard grade school, the evil Hogwarts thing. He came back to rescue her. Now, Elle seemed to at first be connected to her, and Hopper, he didn't like her for some reason. It didn't really explain why, but then he has a conversation with Winona Ryder's character and says, look, I don't trust her and I will kill her without thinking about it if something goes wrong or I see something going on. And at first I thought, that's interesting, Hopper's kind of sensing something. But when Kali tells Elle, we're always in danger as long as we're alive. Like, Vecna has to die, Henry has to die, sure, the military, those people have to die, but more people in the military will just keep coming back and, trying to recreate births to use it as a weapon or whatever twisted thing they're going to do. So when we destroy this wormhole, we're going to have to die too. That was the moment where I swear on Millie Bobby Brown's face, either that one or the next time they had a conversation, a look of like, now I see what Hopper sees, and I feel like Kali is going to get it. I feel like she's going to die. I feel like Elle's going to kill her. She's just trying to use Kali now, I think, to get to that moment because she needs her to help destroy the wormhole, but then it's going to be one of those shove-a-rooskies off the cliff. You had me until you thought we should both die. You're not taking me away from Mike and all my friends. So I think that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. All right, the fourth thing I can't stop thinking about, this is actually a really nice thing. Dustin and Steve, back together again. Don't you love it? Isn't it great? You could feel the tension beforehand that it was there, and I didn't know why. Turns out they were just a little bit, BFFs that were having a tiff. Like Steve had said, look, I'm sorry that I said those things about Eddie. I was a little jealous because I missed my best friend. And so Dustin apologized. They had a big hug. And I think Dustin just didn't want to see Steve get hurt or get killed because he couldn't go through it with, again, like he saw with Eddie. So I think it was a nice moment. I also think you can't harm these two now. We're running out of people here. I don't know who to choose. I guess somebody doesn't have to die, but it would be nice. No, but I don't know you kill here either because I feel like they're having a nice moment. You can't make Dustin go through this again where he loses a best friend or a close friend again, can you? And it can't be Dustin himself. That would be ridiculous. So I really don't know what you do here. But anyway, that was something that I noticed. It was a nice moment. All right, and the last thing that I can't stop thinking about, this is the fifth and final thing, is still what's going on with the world beyond Hawkins. Like, why isn't anybody getting involved? Is there some sort of a, I know they closed off Hawkins like a military checkpoint, but like, is this only affecting Hawkins? I still don't understand how this is happening. I kind of understand the wormhole thing, what they're talking about. I don't know if this lines up with any actual theories of science or physics or whatever, if this is possible for something like this to happen, or is that happening, or is it just a fictitious, expansion onto maybe one wacky theory? I don't know, but I'd love to find out. But I would also like to find out why the rest of the world isn't taking an interest in this. Why there aren't more? Is the military just cutting them off? Boy, the military people are just, as actors, they're very good at playing villains, but just so unlikable, aren't they? All right, that's it. That's all I've got. That's my Stranger Things conversation with you. What did you think? What's your take? There's going to be spoilers in the comments below as well. So if you haven't watched it yet, for God's sakes, don't look. Are you going to go to the movie theater as well? That's my other question. Or are you going to watch it at home? I think things are better in the theater. I think it's already sold out where I am. AMC is one of them carrying it. I think I'm going to go New Year's Day in the morning because it's less people. You know, if I go at night, it's going to be me and a bunch of Gen Z people. I'm going to feel like McConaughey in Dazed and Confused. You know, I don't want to be the old man of the group. You know, I'm sure there'll be a variety of ages there, but I'm going to go see it in the theater because I think it deserves it. I mean, it's the culmination of everything that's happening. I don't know what's going to happen. I still think Hopper's going to die. I don't think Will is. It could be Max. I honestly, I don't know. I think we're going to be shocked. I didn't think it was Elle originally, but I think Kali. That's all I'll say. Kali and Hopper. That's who's going to die. I think that I'm going to get surprised. Somebody else is going to go. But it's going to be too sad, man. Too sad. What a great series. I can't wait to see the finale. Let me know what you think. Stranger Things. It's great.